Alright clan, welcome back to Crypto Conan. Here is your market update. Alright, before we begin, let's talk about this squiggle drawing I did. This is something I gave to the group. It's price action I thought we would follow for several days to come. I did take a long from this bottom, and these are the type of calls I give to the group. I do announce when I do scalp long, and I do short the market, so you can see from my drawing, Bitcoin is just kind of meandered. I did fail to short the market. I was up into this leading week. I did get brain surgery, believe it or not, right here on the 24th, and I'm recovering well, but I was kind of foggy going into it, kind of foggy coming out. But here we are. And what is this level right here, marked with this red box? Well, to explain that, I just want to play you this short clip from my last upload. More importantly, we must be very cognizant that this dip may not be over. And I'm just going to go back historically for just a moment here, back into previous bull market. So you can see we had three major pullbacks on the way up. We got a 31% here, a 26, nearly 27% there, and a 27% there. Let's say our average pullback is about 29%. So if we do that here from the top, 29% could put us down into this bottom VWAP perfectly. And this very strong level of support is we're just going to roll over and make new lows. Now my low levels are coming in at this 50% fib right at 56,800, which I do not see much confluence. We have a daily level there that is confluent, and we have the golden pocket coming in at the 61866 and confluent with this zone here. So that box right there, maybe just down to that channel. So we're talking price zones between 52,800 down to 50,000. This could also be hit before we go back up. Just to serve a reminder, this zone down here does come in at 29% average pullback. Okay, now that we've established what I was looking for, coming down to this 50% fib and my channel line, we are currently holding it. But is this dip over? Simply put here, if we just zoom in to the 4-hour time frame and use a simple tool as the RSI, and these are very powerful if you know how to use them correctly. We are flashing a slight bullish divergence here on the RSI. And the last time we did that was clear down here when we had this dip coming down here. Back in January on the 4-hour, we flashed a slight bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame here, and that was a catalyst for our move back up. Let's look for moves like this. Another obvious factor is I want this zone right here to be reclaimed. That would reclaim our 382, my custom channel chart. So that zone is coming in, roughly 61,000. If we get acceptance back into here, we can look to this upper zone of the 65.8 reclaimed as well. And in that previous clip, you also saw how I marked this area in this aqua blue coloring. Now it comes into our golden pocket, and I have to think this Fibonacci pull is being respected because we are resting on that 50% perfectly that I was looking for. So we do have the 618, the 66, and we do have a, we could have a wick down to my channel chart here, coming into this block here, before we move back up. So to simply put it, I'm looking for A or B. Switching over to the total market cap, we did lose this 2618 at 2.13 trillion. And we have a very powerful confluence of VWAPs that are crossing over, and we were using as support, 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 loss, and now it is resistance. So now for a further move to the upside, we must reclaim this range. So we got our value area low, point of control, value area high. So let's look for this 2618, this VWAPs to be reclaimed. We're coming in at 2.16 trillion. Once we get there, let's look for acceptance into this area here. If and when we cross the 2.32 trillion mark, that is our value area high of this range right here. We can start looking into new highs. Further downside, I see us coming down into this zone of the 1.86 trillion and another zone down coming into this bottom VWAP confluence at the 1618 and bottom VWAP, which is a very powerful confluence zone, which would flush our altcoins completely and totally reset the market, in my opinion, coming in at $1.6 trillion. And now switching over to ETH, those of you that have viewed my videos for a while now, you know that I saw this as a very big point of resistance, and we indeed did reject from there pretty harshly. Now on the good news side, we are holding this ascending channel line of my custom chart build, and we used it once as a point of check and twice, and coming off perfectly off the 618 Fibonacci level. ETH did not make new lows. In fact, ETH versus Bitcoin is trading, somewhat well. If we turn on the moving averages here on the daily time frame, I find this structure pretty interesting, how we did now reclaim the 20, and we are sandwiched between the 100 and 20. And this can be a recipe if ETH versus BTC can hold this range. The 20 can squeeze up, and where the 100 comes like this, price range can just grovel up before it pops above, test their 200, and then we can get above that. That is a very bullish scenario that will be great for our altcoins. Now switching over to our total 3, it has not made new lows. The lows came in at $558 billion, and we are slightly flashing a bullish divergence here. I'm not going to put too much stock into that. I still think this has work to do. So we're getting a bearish cross here of the 20 through the 50. So really, we're just going to come down like this, do this sort of formation, or we may just grovel here before we pop back up. And of course, a flush to the downside of the lower targets for Bitcoin, I think we'd be retesting this 50%, coming in $537 billion, a fake out of this triangle before we reclaim it and then move up.